Watch this video and then tell me we don't have a problem. South Africans, you are not angry enough.
You think you're anti-Islam?
Anti-Islam.
What is the solution?
The solution is to end the pollution. That's the solution.
Okay, how?
Simply by unifying, no more jokes, simply by unifying white people around a political will. That political will would consist of expressing publicly that we want to have our own country back. That's where it starts. It's an incremental thing. We all know how it ends.
How does it end?
It ends with us mobilizing people behind that political will.
Okay, so your political will is to start a country. Where would this country be?
In South Africa. Are you trying to make the argument that South Africa does not belong to the white man?
I'm asking merely where this country will be.
Well, it's very simple.
Well, if you want a better description, it seems you have no imagination or comprehension.
Okay, well, don't spell it out to me then, but we all know what you mean. Waar in Suid-Afrika sal hierdie volksstaat wees? Is dit die hele Suid-Afrika?
The whole South Africa, yes.
Bly dit Suidwes in?
I think eventually we should claim all the way to Egypt.
Okay. Maar het vir hoekom? Hoekom wil jy die hele Afrika oorneem?
Because races are competing against each other, and it's only natural for me to want my race to win as much as possible. Same way one would want one's own home team to win as many matches as possible.
I'm sorry, you guys are racist. That's pretty fucking despicable.
Yes, we are racist.
Yes, we are. And see, we find people who are not racist quite despicable. So you see, we all have opinions.
One of the people on the lives has almost 15,000 followers. Just come listen to this.
Welcome. Today we are
Come.
at the Hartbeespoortdam in the Transvaal province. Now, it is often said that South Africa was built on the backs of black labor. And we are here to challenge this false narrative today and to show you the magnificence of European architecture and infrastructure.
I like it when you... sorry, let's try that again. I like it when you provoke the natives. Let's watch. You will watch, you'll continue to watch, you will probably die of old age before you do something. Nothing will happen because you see, you are a coward. You'll never commit to an armed struggle as you threaten us with, because you and your kind are cowards that will only commit these heinous acts against defenseless women and children or elderly people that are isolated. But you see, if by some miracle you do muster the courage or the logistic capability of doing something like that, oh man, let's just say there are many, many white men that are dreaming and yearning for that day. So go ahead, make our day. Freedom for the white man.
I'm so done being nice. I am actually shaking the way I'm angry. I'm just gonna say it like it is. Where is your rage? Where is your anger? Why are people not having these conversations? Why is it that so many people are focused on everything that's not important except these conversations? Why has nobody done anything about this? How is it that this man already has been able to accumulate such a large platform? These people feel so comfortable because you do nothing. They could go on a live and show the world how free they are to say these things. They literally called for segregation, another apartheid system, on their live. Listen carefully. And they did it on a live, so comfortable, knowing that you would do nothing. Because you do nothing. You support content creators that send our women off to Russia to be trafficked, but you don't support the creators and people trying to make a difference. You do nothing. You can't even do the bare minimum of getting the message out there. Don't you ever tell me it's not about race. Don't you ever tell me this conversation is not important. Don't you ever tell me we don't have a problem in this country. Do you think that the situation in Gaza happened overnight? Do you think that war started overnight? It starts here with these people calling for action to create a new dreamland for these racists. They are building division. Go and watch that man's platform and look at his videos, and then you tell me we don't have a problem. I'm telling you, we cannot have this tolerated. We have laws against this kind of hate speech. This is more than inciting violence. This is despicable. And if you do nothing, you are equally as despicable. You are the problem. And I'm talking to you, white South Africans as well, the ones that claim to be allies, the ones that claim to want unity, the ones that claim that there is no problem. If you turn a blind eye just because these people are white, you are part of the problem. And you disgusting, filthy racist, how dare you? You have so much audacity even thinking you can be racist, because when apartheid ended, people of color didn't ask for any repercussions. You had the TRC. That was it. There were no repercussions. We didn't take the land back. We actually have a white genocide that y'all claim exists in South Africa. We didn't do any of that. No. You just got a slap on the wrist. Stand in front of the TRC and just apologize. Just tell your truth and be sorry so that we can move forward together. But no, I argue that may have been a problem, because when apartheid ended, you felt like the victim. You felt like, oh, now I have to live with black people, people of color. Now I have to live with them. You felt like the tragedy fell on you. You felt like you were the ones that wrong was done to. And the problem with people like you is that you come from family members that were never sorry, that felt like a harm was done to them when apartheid ended, that long for the days of apartheid. And if we as South Africans don't hold these people accountable, this infection will continue to spread.
South Africans are not angry enough. South Africans are not angry enough. South Africans are not angry enough. We hear that all the time. However, I don't think it's because South Africans are not angry enough. South Africa has one of the most advanced and aggressive credit systems in the world. South Africa is also one of the most unequal countries in the world. Now, if you have a middle and upper middle class that has access to any credit facility that they would need, we can buy houses, cars, boats, cell phones, anything in South Africa on credit. And through that system, you will then create soft control. And that soft control instills more fear in the upper and the middle class than the police ever would. Because even though the middle and the upper middle class knows that the system is not working, they would not necessarily revolt against the system because I will lose my house, I would lose my car, I would lose my job. The lower class understands that the system is not working. However, they might not necessarily have the resources, nor would they have the support of the middle and the upper middle class. And that is why you will always find the upper middle class and the middle class coming up with all the excuses as to why it is that they cannot protest against anything and everything. We had the issue of the proposed 17% tax. People knew it was wrong. In a country where the corruption is where it's at, we understand that the money is not always going to where it should be going. So that loss does not come from the people. It comes from corruption. So we understand that. However, even though we understand that things are not functioning correctly, we would not necessarily revolt against the very same status quo that we know is not working for the masses. So no, I don't think it's because South Africans are not angry enough. I think that we are part of a system that has allowed for control through the middle and the upper middle class, and thus maintaining a status quo that would not necessarily work for everyone.
Ooga Booga says, "You're right, you're privileged if you're born white, because all the problems we have in this world are the result of white people who are given the knowledge of good and evil because they are not so civilized as they claim to be." Yeah, we gave you all those real world problems like running water and electricity because you guys were just noble savages prior to us arriving here, right? You guys didn't murder or commit any crime, steal any bicycles or anything like that. It's only when the white man came that you guys became a criminal people for some reason. It must be that running water and electricity we gave you that all of a sudden turned you guys into criminals. Maybe it was the mathematics and science and written language we taught you that all of a sudden turned you guys into 60% of the problem, even though you're only 13% of the population. Who knows? Who knows what it was?
The scariest places I've ever been was South Africa. I went to a place called Camps Bay, and then I also went to some other places in South Africa, and I literally was like, yeah, I'm on high alert here. I've even been to the Gaza Strip or close to the Gaza Strip right in Israel, where you can literally hear bombs going off. Mexico, totally comfortable, don't feel that way at all. Even my friends, people that I've taken to Mexico before, have that same feeling before they get there, and when they get there with me, they're like, holy crap, that was all like in my own mind.
I just want to say, uXolani wenu, the new mayoral candidate of Action SA, when today he was making a speech, he did come for the EFF and spoke about their uniform in parliament and spoke about people making noise. I'm making this video because I know when we criticize, rather, fight is a big word, when we criticize, when we also repost and say whatever, you're gonna say fighters are bitter, wara wara, and fighters are pulling down a black child. Hey. So I'm making this video to show you, bana, he's the first person to attack. And rightfully so, because now he's in politics. That's what you do in politics. However, I don't want you guys to be hypocrites. This is the same guy when he had all these murder charges against him, and I was just following the story briefly because I don't follow his show. Apparently someone died during a show or something, and he was attending the court cases. Even Mojalav released a statement today congratulating him for being an Action SA a mayoral candidate. I don't know about a TV show in Genapigu politics, but that's a story for another day. The same Mojalav who's congratulating him, when he was accused of murder, they released him off his duty, or suspended him or whatever. The EFF was there for him. Dr. Tsenim Chwagu JMPD was, they did a collab there where they said, okay, fine, they're finalizing the deal, he's gonna work with them, when no one wanted to touch him. But now the first chance he gets, he wants to come for the EFF. So I'm gonna play that clip. Let me just read for you here very quickly. During this time, it was tough times for him. In the city of Joburg, Dr. Tsenim Chwagu took him in. They were going to work together, and he was labeled as the murder accused that time. Okay, fine. Today he's being announced as the mayoral candidate of Action SA. During his speech, he says, the war we are fighting is not a war of making noise in parliament. It's not a war of wearing workers' clothes and overalls, pretending to be working while stealing workers' money. Action SA, a Correlate mayoral candidate. He also said it's not a war that needs you to buy military uniform, as if you're going to war, but you're just trying to loot people's money. I'm going to attach this clip. The reason I'm rating it for you is because that clip is not clear. Their sound was bad, but yeah, save this video, because when we are coming for him, Asizum Tatamis, he's in politics now. He struck first, and yeah, in people in general nje balibalam sing, that's people for you. They don't remember.
Lepi elwane asimbi yokubanga umsindo eParliament, asimbi yokugqoka impahla zabantu abasebenzayo lama overall nana kuba lathi basebenza ngathi ngithothi imali zabasebenzi, asimbi yokuthenga impahla zamasotsha okungathi nempini kanti niya empini yokufuna ukulutha imali zabantu nomsebenzi abantu. The real fight is walking into a drug den, 2 o'clock in the morning, catching drug dealers red-handed, and making sure that they are removed from our communities. The real fight is confronting murderers, arms dealers, who are flooding our streets, neighbor.